Hey YouTube, Dan Otto here, and I'm just going to start these battles because this could not come at a more relevant time. Again, I'm using just Toxapex because I built them up for, and they're super strong in the Catch Cup. I built up the Dusclops for one of the earlier cups in the season, and I want to use it here. And in these battles, you're going to see a couple things. The spamminess between Hex, Ice Punch, and Shadow Punch is great, and its bulk is great. I think it's a third match that I have that I lose here. And my point of this video was going to be Dusclops is potentially a good Pokemon, except it does not have anything to threaten you, right? You can Hex is an okay fast move. It's not Shadow Claw, right? But it's good for like energy generation. But Shadow Punch and Ice Punch does not threaten you, so you don't really need to shield much. And then the news dropped yesterday, right before I was filming this video, of Dusclops getting Poltergeist, the new move that was given to the Litwick on the Litwick Community Day. And for those of you who don't know, it's a nuke move. It's higher energy, but also higher damage than Shadow Ball. The problem with the move is it's worse on like a damage per energy basis than Shadow Ball. So if you had Shadow Ball, you always just run Shadow Ball. However, Dusclops does not get access to Shadow Ball. It only gets access to these punches. Yeah, I think it's just straight punches. So you have this super decently bulky Pokemon, decently fast energy generation that can only throw Shadow Punch and Ice Punch. So if you now give this the option to, let's say I run this two ways. You can just replace Shadow Punch with this nuke move. Or if it is a meta that bans Dark, you'd have to ban normal too. The problem with this Pokemon and a lot Calvarigas can at least get like Psychic and stuff. Runerigus is kind of the same sort of situation. The problem with these Pokemon is if you go against a normal Pokemon where Ghost is resisted, or if you go against Dark where it's resisted, you're essentially done if you get rid of the Ice Punch, right? So that's why you kind of need to run Ice Punch on this Pokemon. Or I think the Fire Punch is the other move. So if it's like an open league, or if it's if it's an open league, you'd probably have to run Ice Punch or one of the other punches to make sure that you have something for that coverage. Where if for somehow Dark and Normal are banned, you can definitely run Shadow Punch and then the Nuke Ghost move. For sure, get that stab bonus, and it'd be a really strong Pokemon. So I think this Pokemon will have some play. Again, there's no point of running it in the open meta right now, in my opinion. When you have Calvarigas, Trevenant, Sableye to a certain extent, when you have just these like way better Ghost Pokemon with better fast moves, better charge moves, right? This has more bulk, but it lacks the fast move pressure, and it even with getting a nuke, it just gets the second move, Ice Punch, just doesn't give you the coverage that you need for these matchups. Like here is where Shadow Punch is amazing, right? I'm just spamming the heck out of this thing, and I just got both shields, and they're gonna need to throw as I'm gonna take it out. So it's a really interesting Pokemon. I think it's gonna have more play. How much play? TBD, right? I probably will try it sometime in one of the Great League metas, but for the most part, I think you're just gonna stick to the same old, right? And I kind of just went over that in the video yesterday that I kind of dropped it around like 11:15ish my time, Eastern time yesterday. So if you haven't checked that, I'll link it somewhere in this video. So go check it out, because there's only like there's like maybe 5 or 6 Pokemon that get stronger in this, or stronger or weaker. This one gets stronger, obviously. The nerf to Charmers make them weaker. The nerf to Poison Fang makes Nidoqueen weaker. And then, so while we're talking, because I just shot the video for the new season. While we're talking about it, they need to hire literally anyone to do checking, because there's 5 errors that we spotted. One was they forgot to change the date on the second last thing of the season. They put Scroopy into the Fighting Cup as a band. Not last time I checked, it was not a fighter. They said Dusclops gets a nerf, gets like this new move, but they had Dusk Noir as the picture. They had Wing Attack, which is the fast move for Noctowl, saying that it no longer lowers your opponent's attack or defense guaranteed when that is a fast move, so it didn't do that. And what it was supposed to be is like increase the damage. I think they're nerfing that, but they completely messed that up. I only got that from like the maybe Ghost Stadium, who had the like write up on it already. So really pathetic like attempt at a new season drop. Like this is basic editing stuff. Like, what are you doing, Niantic? Come on, just just pretend you care about GBL for like 1 second. Let's not even go over the fact that for the most part the meta is stale, that we're gonna lose all the level 40 Ultra League and Master League things. Like, we know you don't care about it, but come on, just pretend that you do just a little bit. Anyways, so that is it. Runerigus and Miltank tomorrow. I built up both of them because I think both of them have play in general in the Great League Open. And Runerigus, really interesting, really strong. I was surprised how both glassy it is and how attack heavy it is. And then I'm actually gonna, while this goes, I'm just gonna look it up, the stats between Cofagrigus and Runerigus, because that's the one thing I noticed. I've used both before. Where are your stats? So Cofagrigus stats has 112 attack, 168 defense, and 106 stamina. Let me just keep that up there and look up Runerigus, because Runerigus was interesting. So Runerigus has, where are your stats? 100 and, do the same stats? No way they're the same stats. Okay, they're the same stats on PV Poke, but nah, I don't think so. I'd have to look that. I'm not good when it comes to this stuff, so I don't want to question PV Poke, but it's just one of those things where I was playing the Great League with Runerigus, and there's no way, because I played the Trevenant matchup against Cofagrigus too, and the Runerigus match, you're like down to 50% health just with the claws, and you're at like 30 to 40 with the Cofagrigus. I can't believe that's true, that they're the same attack and same defense stats. But anyways, you'll see tomorrow in the battles. Like, it was an interesting Pokemon. It surprised me how hard it hit, and it also surprised me like how like claws put me down to like 50% so quickly. So that'll be tomorrow. And then, not that I haven't ranted enough in the last two videos, but we will go over the season just Thursday, just a wrap up. Thoughts about like still the meta. I was again, I'm going to Toronto Regionals, and I mentioned I'm going completely off book. Like, I'm doing 6 Pokemon that are not Noctowl, Metachamp, Galarian Sunfisk, Lickitung. I'm not bringing any of those Pokemon. I'm bringing 6 others. And if you look at, again, the champion and the runners up and the top 8, I think maybe 6, 7 of the teams had Metachamp, had Noctowl, it's just the same meta, and it's the same meta that you're going to see in Great League because they didn't update the moves enough. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. Enough ranting. See you guys in the next one.